Most people think the hardest part of buying a home is getting approved. It's not. The hardest part starts after you get the keys. Because once the excitement wears off, one question quietly takes over your life. Should I destroy this mortgage as fast as possible, or should I invest my extra money instead? And if you've ever stared at your ceiling at 2 a.m. doing mental math, wondering if you're making a huge financial mistake, you're not alone. Today, we're going to settle this the right way, not with opinions, not with financial guru slogans, but with real numbers, real trade-offs, and a framework you can actually use. The situation most people are in. Let's start with a realistic example. You buy a home using a 30-year mortgage. Loan amount is $500,000. Interest rate is 7%. Monthly payment, principal, and interest about $3,327. No taxes, no insurance, just the mortgage itself. After 1 year, something good happens. You get a raise. Suddenly, you have an extra $1,000 per month that didn't exist before. Now comes the decision that divides personal finance into two camps. Do you send that $1,000 to the bank, or do you send it to the market? Option 1. Invest the extra money. Let's say you invest that $1,000 every month into a low-cost index fund. To stay conservative, we'll assume 9% annual return. Contributions increase 3% per year as your income grows. You invest for the remaining 29 years of your mortgage. When you run the numbers, your investment portfolio grows to about $1.83 million. That's not pocket change. That's retirement level money. At this point, most people stop thinking. Investing clearly wins. Case closed. But that conclusion ignores something huge. The part of mortgages most people don't understand. Mortgages don't work the way your brain thinks they do. In the early years, you are not paying off your house. You are paying rent to the bank. After 1 full year on this loan, you've paid nearly $40,000. Your balance is still around $496,000. Why? Because most of your payment goes to interest. In your first payment, almost 90% is interest. Barely 10% reduces the loan. It takes over 20 years before more of your payment goes to principal than interest. This is why banks love long mortgages. Option 2. Attack the mortgage. Now let's try the opposite approach. You take that extra $1,000 and put it directly toward principal. Every dollar hits the balance. No interest drag, no volatility. You increase the extra payment by 3% per year, same as before. Here's what happens. Mortgage paid off in just over 16 years. Total interest drops by roughly $380,000. Sounds amazing until we do the honest math. You didn't magically save $380,000. You had to spend about $238,000 in extra payments to do it. So your net gain is closer to $142,000. Compared to $1.83 million from investing, prepaying looks weak, but we're still not done. The move most comparisons ignore. Once the mortgage is gone, your cash flow explodes. You're no longer sending $3,327 to the bank, plus the extra $1,000. That's over $4,300 per month now free to invest. If you invest that amount for the remaining years at the same 9% return, you end up with around $1.33 million total. So now the gap is much smaller. Invest only still wins, but not by a landslide. And now we reach the most important concept in this entire video. The risk most people never talk about. The stock market does not give you smooth returns. It gives you chaos. Same average return, completely different outcomes. If you start investing right before a major crash, your results can be dramatically worse than someone who starts at the bottom, even over the same time period. This is called sequence of returns risk. Mortgage prepayment has none of that. Paying down a 7% mortgage is a guaranteed tax-free 7% return. No volatility, no bad years, no stress. In today's world, that's extremely competitive. So, which is better? Here's the truth most videos won't tell you. The mathematically optimal answer is not always the life optimal answer. Money decisions affect your sleep, your stress, your behavior, and behavior beats math every single time. That's why I use what I call the Freedom Fund rule. Do both. Instead of choosing sides, you split the difference. Some examples are 60% investing, 40% mortgage, 50-50 balanced approach, or an age-based approach. Younger, invest more. Older, prepay more. Or my favorite is the interest rate rule. Mortgage above 8%, prioritize prepayment. Mortgage below 4%, prioritize investing. Mortgage between 4 to 8%, split your money. Most people today fall right in the middle. When prepaying makes sense, you should lean toward mortgage payoff if you have high interest debt, you're close to retirement, your income feels unstable, or debt causes real anxiety in your life. Peace of mind is a real return. When investing makes sense, you should lean toward investing if your mortgage rate is very low, you don't have a strong emergency fund, you're missing retirement matches, or you're young and time is on your side. Liquidity creates options. The real answer, the spreadsheet doesn't decide your life. You do. Two people can look at the same mortgage and feel completely different emotions. One feels secure, the other feels trapped. Neither is wrong. The goal isn't to maximize numbers on paper. The goal is to design a financial life you don't want to escape from. Use the math, but choose with intention, because there isn't one right answer. There's only your answer. And if you're making that choice deliberately, you're already ahead of most people.